So the question is, who is the most controversial or unorthodox athlete in Jiu-Jitsu, and some thoughts on them. Person who comes to mind is a friend of mine, Keenan Cornelius, and the reason is the use and development of the lapel guard, or what he now calls the worm guard, which I think is just very insightful and a brilliant way of cutting as close to the edge of the rules as you can without actually breaking any rules. The thoughts that different athletes have on the worm guard come in all sizes and flavors. There's people who are like, oh, we need to change the rules of Jiu-Jitsu because you shouldn't be able to use the lapel like that, but that was the same thing that happened when the 50-50 guard first became really popular and effective. Before that, it was the deep half guard. And that's always the case in Jiu-Jitsu, where something happens, someone develops something and it's amazing, it's effective, and the solutions are not obvious at the beginning. But I don't think the solution to that is ever to change the rules to eliminate that. It's just that someone will figure out, some group will figure out how to either make it so effective that the entire sport changes, which is always interesting, or someone will find some simple mechanic by which to neutralize the position or avoid it entirely. So what Keenan has done is take something that was just a really effective way of recovering guard or keeping your guard from getting passed, and then turn that into something that made it nearly impossible to get a guard pass started, and then turn that into something that was almost a guaranteed sweep, and that is what Jiu-Jitsu is all about. I think one sort of side note, just in terms of the mechanics of Jiu-Jitsu, is that it really highlights that when somebody takes a lapel, feeds it through in any way, shape, or form, it's the introduction of an artificial lever. It's like bringing an arm into play that has no hand at the end of it. So there's no way to combat that without feeding the lapel from your own perspective, whether it's your opponent's or your own, or circling out of this lapel. But it just brings to the surface the principles of Jiu-Jitsu very clearly. And I think it's just to Keenan's credit, he's done a really great job of maximizing that. And I would like to see that continue to develop, and I really hope the rules don't change to discourage the use of the lapel guard, because again, it's just further and further that evolves the sport, and that always is it always makes me happy to see that. If you want more videos, please click below to subscribe. If you want to dive in deeper, you can click here to get a free video seminar I did of one of my favorite sequences from standing to submission. And if you have any questions or anything you want to see, please leave it in the comments below.